welcome to Hedgehog Hollow and welcome to this month's instalment of its inspiration with HND MD. Today I'm going to be showing you a quick and simple card to complete our quick and simple series. I'm going to be showing you how to use ombre inks to add lots of splashes of tones and colours to a card in a really quick and easy way. We've also got some heat embossing tips, and we're going to be showing you how to use this lovely new Congratulations set, which has so much potential. So let's get started. So this is one of those really super easy, quick techniques that you can roll off at a moment's notice, or you may want to make a few of them to incorporate into your box of cards just as and when. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 7/8. I'll do that again. I need to add a new blade. It's been on my list and I haven't done it yet. And I'm going to do this way down to 5 and a quarter rather. So it's 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. Lost my train of thought there. Now I'm going to use my Tim Holtz platform, of course. And I'm going to be using this new CrafTangles Congratulations. I love this. I think it's a peony, but I just think it's really pretty. And I also love how it comes out when we use these ombre inks on it. So I'm going to start in this corner. We'll pop on one of our magnets. And we're going to pick this up. And I'm going to be using the Ombre Hydrangea pad. Now, when you ink up with one of these pads, I'm going to show you on the first one. I'm going to pull this back here. So you can see you've got these 3 stripes of colour. You can put it down, and then when you ink, you're going to tap and you're going to lightly move it left and right just to soften those edges and make sure you don't have any gaps between the colours. So now when I close the lid and lift it up, you can see I've got those 3 lovely shades. Now I missed a little bit, and so when I re-ink it again, I'm going to make sure that light pink is on the same side, because otherwise you will lose that ombre effect. So just make sure that when you ink up, it's in that same space. That's that part there. Now I'm going to just lightly clean this in between with my chamois. I will get a little bit of transference of ink because the ombre, I do find you have to clean quite a lot for the ink to be removed, but because we're going to just keep re-inking, you're not going to notice. Plus I'm using a stamp platform, which eases that transition anyway. So again, I'm popping it down and I'm just lightly tapping, moving left to right, so that I soften those edges and make sure that I don't have any issues there. So I'm going to do this all over my panel until we fully have it coloured in. And I'm just going to move this stamp around. Do love how this flower comes out. And I love how using an ombre ink, if you haven't used them before, I love the Hero Arts ones. They come in some amazing colour schemes. I am trying to collect the whole set, but they just make your life so easy. I find that the, I'm going to put this one this way. I find that you don't need to add a huge amount of colour, you don't need to add things to it, because it just has that gorgeous effect on its own. And I keep switching up the ombres. You'll find that some are light pink on the left and some are light pink on the right. I mean, how pretty does that panel look with that ombre ink? I think it's absolutely beautiful. I will also have on the screen right now the video I did on how to use a craft mat in your Tim Holtz platform if you are interested in wondering why I put this in there. I have it in my Misty, I have it in all my stamp platforms. It's a really good little hack to have. Now we want to do our sentiment, and I'm going to heat emboss a sentiment on this black cardstock. I'm going to do Love from Our House to Yours, which I think is a lovely one. So I'm going to get that all mounted up. And I'm going to use some Versamark, and I'm going to use the Nuvo embossing powder. Now this is gold. I'm not sure if it has a particular, this one is called Gold Enchantment. I think it is absolutely beautiful. So much sparkle, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Got my little tidy tray here. And I love these jewel tops on there as well. I think they're great. So I'm just going to give that a little flick. And you can see how much sparkle is in there. I mean, that is just super sparkly. So I can just tip this back in again. And because I have this craft mat in there, I can heat emboss directly onto this piece here, and I can just see one little bit out the corner of my eye. I'm just going to grab one of these micro brushes, and I'll link these micro brushes up for you. But when you can see just that road little bit of embossing powder, these are great to get in those tight spots. I also love it inside of an O or an A. It's really great with those as well. Now, my Wagner heat tool has arrived. This is my absolute favourite tool to use. It heats up really quickly and it gives you a lovely even heat as well. And the thing I love about the Nuvo one is I love that clear, crisp, really lovely gold that this turns into. Let me lift it up so you can take a look. You can see there how lovely that looks. Now I'm going to pop this to the side and we are going to cut this out with the My Favourite Thing zigzag stitch rectangle. This is just one of those basic sets that I tend to really have out all the time, and it fits a lot of sentiments really nicely. It also gives you lovely edges on your card, and I use the Tamiya masking tape for it as well. And I'm just going to run this through my Vagabond, which is next to me. And I love the Vagabond. I don't have to hand crank, and everything just seems to glide straight through. So that's that lovely edge on there. So now we can mount up our card. I've got half a piece of the Nina Solar White here. Just grabbing my bone folder. This is lovely, this bone folder. If you haven't seen me use it before, I haven't got one of the Teflon ones. I haven't made that investment. I think they are quite an investment. And I've had this one for a long time now. I'm not sure they come in pink anymore, but I will link them up for you in whatever colour they now come in. It's not quite Teflon and it's not quite a bone folder in the sense of some of the white ones we see out there. It's somewhere in between. I don't have any issues with anything sticking. I find it glides over every type of paper and I absolutely love it. So I've just stuck down some Lawn Fawn black cardstock. I'm going to use some of my Big Mama roll of tape that you often see me grab. And I'm going to cut my usual long strip. And I'm going to use that on my stamped panel, which is here. I'm actually going to cut another smidgen off of that bottom piece. Again with the cutter peed. Like so. And we'll cut some strips to put on here. Now sometimes I go around the edges, sometimes I just put 3 or 4 strips down the middle. You will get exactly the same effect. Now if you're putting something in the mail, then I would suggest that you might want to put some easy foam underneath of it. But it really depends how far it's going, who it's going to, all those kinds of things. Now that extra piece I had left over, I just stick on the edge of my big tape roll here, and it sticks perfectly whenever you're ready to use it. And I'm actually going to use a little bit on the back of this sentiment. And I'm actually going to put it, I think, somewhere in the middle here. So I'm going to pop that there. So this is our finished card. As I say, it's one of those really quick and easy techniques, but I love how the ombre inks look, and I love how they can add a good splash of colour really quickly. So if you're looking for something that maybe you've got a wedding invitation you need to do, maybe you need a stack of thank you cards, you've got an event coming up, this is a really great way to go with the ombre inks because it looks stunning. It gives you that beautiful delicate flower, but you still just stamp it out with regular ink. So thank you for stopping by today. Do subscribe to the channel. There'll be a little icon on your screen coming up. Enjoy these photos as well that we have on the screen right now. They'll all be on the blog. If you look at the linked blog post underneath the video. If you're on a mobile device, you'll need to click that little downward arrow in the right hand corner, and on a desktop you'll need to click that show me more button underneath the video title. All of your links will be there, or your supply lists will be there, everything you need, plus of course a link to the blog. Thanks so much for joining us today, and I will see you again very soon with some more HND MD inspiration. Happy stamping! Bye!